There we go. So last week, your group discovered several things, thanks in main to Jake wrapping himself in a bee burrito that led to some interesting directions that your session took. Excuse you. Um, so you found out that Ward believes he has a family, a wife and a son. He even has a childishly drawn picture from his son that he showed Jake. Um, he also believes that along with that family, he has a home and that family to come back to in an area of the world called the Commons. So you found that out. He doesn't understand he's an entity constructed by an AI for this crawl, and that he's existed many times in many different forms across many of those crawls, which you guys are aware of that information, but have not yet found a way to potentially get that across to him. He's desperate to find his family. So, in finding those things out, Jake took off on his own after a conversation with a very nervous Ward. Upon awaking, intimidated the shit out of a random tiefling that was just running some errands and found out where the commons were that Ward had asked about. When Jake arrived there, he found it to be a set of high rises in that medieval style that appeared to be an absolute ghost town, no signs of life, and only the bottom floor rooms seeming to have any kind of furnishing at all. Um, with Mort's encouragement and indeed enthusiasm, I'm summarizing the events here, that you had found a way to bring an NPC out of a dungeon, and that that NPC had opened up a potential avenue for you and possibly the anarchists to explore. You concocted a plan. So Mort explained that any NPCs that could have their eyes opened, in air quotes, and be made aware of their situation, their past lives, and the superficial surface level lies that had been implanted in them as part of the crawl, would place an extra load on the AI controlling the entire event, which, according to Zev's reports, was already beginning to struggle under the load of the crawl itself. Mort promised to find a way to house any and all NPCs that you could recover, and encouraged your group via any means possible to try and make the NPCs self-aware and see the reality for what it really was. I suspect with your group, Mort may come to regret that promise. Um, Mort also encouraged you to explore the hidden tunnel to see if it presented a way into the castle, and informed you that it may potentially provide another avenue to weaken or possibly even more the AI, possibly even launch, some sort of offensive rather than reactive response. You're right.
Yeah.
One time I've got to read the recap. I
No,
can't
it
see
was
Jake and
Dante's
just can't
son
go
when
on.
he walked in behind him. He made
Right.
the funniest phrase. He was just like,
I look forward to watching that one back. Um, so as a group, you made a decision after all of that to take Ward to the Commons, where the Jake had uncovered and investigated himself. And thanks to some natural 20 nonsense, you were able to ascertain the area was never actually really set up to be lived in. It was superficial. It was very staged. The furniture was flimsy and not sturdily constructed or worth anything, and no stairs or other mechanisms led from the bottom floor to the higher levels. It was all just very superficial. It was a prop. It was a lie told to the NPCs who were never meant to make it to the world between and exit the dungeons, which Mort also confirmed. So finally, you took Ward to see Mish. Finally, as in at the end of last session, to see if she could help. And due to some lucky rolls on her part, she was able to hypothesize that you may be able to make Ward and indeed any NPC see the truth by asking the questions that lead them to realize just how superficial and lacking in depth that their memories that they have outside of the small amount of time they were in the dungeon really were. And to look for opportunities to reveal the truth and get them to see reality. And Mish was clearly as enthused as Maud about the idea, but she was not able to speak as freely, not having the privacy of the bathroom foyer that the rest of you had. Um, she did mention that pursuing that path when questioned might work, or that it also may drive the NPC insane and break their brain. And despite being quite confused at the question, she reassured Fokionis that if the NPC's brains broke, they would not literally explode and go boom. They may die, but they wouldn't take anyone else with them. Um, and that is where you currently find yourselves. Um, leading Ward around, as you promised to ask around the world between to see if anyone had seen or knew his wife Tanisha or son Warden and knew why they weren't in the commons and where they might be found. And the final bit that Ward had mentioned to Jake was that his wife was a beautiful woman, blonde hair, around Jake's height, and that Warden was a little boy of 5 with black hair. And that's the details he's been able to provide you. And he's at present quite stressed about the whole situation and where his family might be and what is currently happening. And some of the things that he hasn't been able to remember that you've asked him. And before we go any further and you guys make decisions on what you're going to do next, because I didn't want to finish on this at the end of last session, can I get all of you who are paying any kind of attention to Ward at all, can you give me an insight roll, please? You don't have to, but if you are, engaged in this enough that you're paying attention to Ward, I would like you to give me an insight roll before we go any further, please.
Fuck it, I'll do one as well.
Mm-hmm. Insight. There it is. Well, I'm glad I got that out of the way early.
Again, you can do it in whatever form you like, and I'll get your totals in a sec. Just let me load Ward's character sheet up.
Do I want to roll manually for the clinkety-clackety?
Oh, yes.
You should do it however it makes you happy.
7.
I should have got a drink refill before we started.
All right, so let's go left to right. So Fokionis,
Well,
give me your bidding for insight check. Alia,
fucking
17.
Yeah.
17. Jake,
7.
7. Sorry, thank you. I did miss that. I heard you say something. I just didn't catch the number. And Zachary,
10.
All right. So Fokionis, you can see Ward's a bit worried, but it should all be all right. He's needlessly stressing. It'll be okay. It'll all work out for the best. You probably shouldn't worry so much. And you continue, like, I don't know, scratching your ass and smelling your farts because you're completely oblivious to what's going on. Jake and Zachary, you guys can definitely see that Ward is, agitated and worried, and you can see that stress is very, very present. But neither of you, perhaps know him well enough, and with your own somewhat stunted emotional ranges, you don't really pick up on too much more than that. Alia, with your 17, you're paying a bit closer attention to the world around you and Ward and actually being able to, like you do with your maximizing your senses and paying attention to things like smell and the hormones that he's giving off and you can tell with your 17, and this is just you at the moment, that Ward is really, really confused as to what is going on, and he is questioning everything at this point with a real lack of understanding or way to frame what he's witnessed and experienced, and more than what anyone else in the group is noticing, despite the fact that he appeared to be keen to continue looking for his family and not reacting as much as you'd expect to the clearly abandoned and staged commons. He has taken in a bit more than maybe the others have noticed, and you can see that he is really struggling with this and has a lot of conflicting thoughts and emotions at the moment with your 17. And that's where we pick back up in Mish's place. You're all there with Ward, and what would you like to do next?
I'm going to tell the group what I observed.
Are you going to do that with Ward, like right there? Because at the moment you've come back out of Mish's back office, and you're
What
there
the
with
fuck was
him.
I doing back there?
I don't know if you went back there, but your group, whoever went back with her.
Well, I
need to
was
look
like, I
back.
cut out last night, so
Oh,
the
of
other,
course.
so
That's
I
right,
don't
we
know
took you
what
back there.
happened in the end.
Of course. Well, I get you got the basically the gist of it in the recap with what Mish had suggested, but then
Sorry, I
you've
was
come
too
back
busy
out
watching him.
and because Ward got left behind so you could speak privately, and you've come back out and gotten this sense of him, whereas the others are a little bit oblivious and maybe thinking of what comes next rather than what's right in front of them.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, they're obviously scratching their asses.
Focionis is like pulled a dagger out and he's getting in a bit deeper. 'Cause whatever it was just a.
But we have lost
could not
Dante.
swim.
I don't know if anyone's noticed.
Yeah.
Ah, seriously?
Not me tonight.
Well, obviously, other than Focionis, what would any of the rest of you like to do? And we can fill him in on what happened when he gets back.
Lily's muted. Mm. Or
I
she's
know, my,
Yeah, I
my
see.
cats are also having a fun time doing things in the background.
Okay,
You can
fine.
do food and cats and internet and. There's a cat at the back. All right, so what would you guys like to do?
Let me look. What's she got going? Oh,
He's
can't
gonna
see
press it. It's
anything.
like, oh yeah,
Oh, there we
Ward's
go.
really freaking out. What's Mish got for sale?
Well, no one else is doing anything, so I'm gonna browse the shop.
Mish
mean-
just quietly kicks out the bin that she hasn't quite refilled from the last time you were there, but nudges it over in your general direction with another 20 pounds of miscellaneous
Face
crap
first
and
into the
crap.
garbage bin.
Yeah, also just all you can see is Alia's hind legs and leather clad pants and tail poking out of the top of the bin. She's gone.
She knows how to keep me entertained for 5 minutes.
Definitely has you sussed. Jake, Zach.
I'm just trying to think of other ways that we can
Yeah, me too.
gently let him know that all of the memories of his wife and his son
That whip do.
completely and absolutely not real.
Yeah. I'd be like, have you seen The Matrix?
Have you seen the Muffin Man?
Muffled voice from the bottom of the bin. Hello, Jeff. Oh, nails.
um. God, how do we to think of this? It's failing miserably.
Yep.
Didn't have to
Ward's kind
agree
of
that
looking at you guys. He's not saying anything, but he's sort of looking around to each of you and starting to get a bit used to Alia by now. Okay, guess that's normal. But you can all pick up on, regardless of your perception, that he's kind of wringing his hands a bit, and he's a little bit nervous and clearly nervous and fidgety, but he's at least not at the moment willing to interrupt you. Just looking to face.
No.
Maybe we should just take him back to Mort and have him just do the same thing as Manta and just get him sloshed. Just keep him sloshed for a bit.
yeah. And then we could like go back into the tunnel.
Yeah, we can leave him there for the day and we can go on an expedition and do some spelunking into the castle.
Yeah, I think he needs a break to process this. Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, he did seem even more disturbed than us about the missing stairs.
Yeah,
I'm assuming this is all an over the table conversation you guys are having. Am I
I mean,
right?
I'm
We're right
down
in
to
front
have
of you.
it. Yeah, no, I'm down to have it right in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take you back to
Let's take you back to
Well,
what?
So hearing all of this was I hadn't even noticed there were no stairs.
Yes, he
Shit,
did. He was
shit.
talking about it quite a lot. I thoroughly remember him going, how do they get out in the case of a fire, or how do they get up? And how dangerous it was.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
I just wanted to respond to you talking in front of him. So
Oh,
he's
Dante
looking
said
to...
it looks like it's my turn this week for internet shenanigans.
Shit. We'll see what happens and managing
Oh,
the best
he's
we
back.
can. He's just come back in. So he's looking to sorry, if you're going back and do you mind if I just go and ask around? I know you're really busy. You've got a lot on. This isn't your problem, but I appreciate your help. Can I go and ask around to see if anyone's seen them?
I wonder if we can convince Mish to play babysitter. And just have her follow Ward around for a day.
So
That seems like a good idea.
Can I just walk over to Mish and like chuck a nice pile of, I don't know, gold down in front of her? I would like a business transaction.
this Jake with Mish is so different to I with Mish. So Mish's attention was mostly on Alia, and every now and then she was kind of like nudging something into the bin, just something else to like trickle down and bounce off and fall into the into the steel drum that Alia's face first in. So she looks around. Here's the money hitting the counter. How much are you dropping down there?
We're adventurers. We don't understand currency. 150 gold.
Mish turns around, climbs back up on the step ladder. So you've gone from just sort of seeing her forehead and the side of her as she leans over the bin, to back up to almost your eye height. Yeah, but I don't see anything anywheres. What are you looking to purchase, Jake?
I would like to slam
time.
both of my hands gently down on the table, make direct eye contact.
Mhm.
How good are you at babysitting?
I've never tried. Babies aren't meant to be in the crawl. My brother and I are meant to be the last
How good are you at
children of
babysitting
crawlers.
full-grown NPCs?
Just a look of confusion.
Think of it as an
It's
escort
a
quest.
first time for everything. Oh, I did some escort quests in the crawl. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you want escorted and where?
Alright, so I point over toward.
Mhm.
All you gotta do is make sure he doesn't, and I like bring up my hand and do the finger thing of he doesn't die, he doesn't get lost, he doesn't somehow end up back in another dungeon, he doesn't try and buy a very large quantity of ladders, and keep him away from
Well
the
played.
combat. It's a timed escort mission where you simply follow the NPC around.
Okay, so timed. How long is the time on this?
So it'll be for can I look over to Zach? How long do you think it'll take to break into a castle?
take like more than like a day. We wouldn't be that long.
I put another 100 gold on the table. 2 days. If you need more, let me know.
See Mish kind of she's like grabbed a scrap of some kind of parchment. She's scribbling down okay, so die, no, don't die, no loss, no ladders, no commons, no don't. Okay. 1 day, and looked up when you mentioned the 2 days and the extra cash. Like, it's just piling the counter at this point.
I put another 50 on top as well. Also, make sure he gets food. That $50 is his allowance. The 50 gold. Any extra he doesn't spend, you can just keep. Consider it like a tip.
What are you feeding him? Like unicorn horn?
This is a lot. Okay, I can do this, but if the dungeons are ending or the next dungeon is opening, I will be compelled to come back to my store. So what you've given me here is more than I will make at the moment with few crawlers around, but I will be compelled to be here if things are closing and the next one is opening.
If that happens,
that is
just
out of
send
my
him
control.
back to Mort. He's very good at taking instructions. And at the end of that sentence, I'd like to turn and face him.
Yep.
In like wherever he is in the store and just go, isn't that right? Just say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. See, very good.
Yep. So you've got Misha's on board, and by the time you've turned back, that money is gone off the counter. You turn the look at board and you come back and it's gone.
That was a total of like 300.
Yep. You started off at 150 and you just kept adding extras. So 250 for Mish and 50 for Ward's essentially allowance.
Oh, good. I'll update that.
All right. So when while you're doing that, Mish has signaled Ward over to her. And Jake, because you're still right there, you can hear, and the rest of your group, you'll catch most of this. You're not too far away. Mish is essentially saying to Ward that that he may have seen that there's been a substantial sum of money being paid by Jake for her to help him out, and that she will do everything she can to help him find what he's looking for. But there's just a few rules he'll need to follow for her to be able to help him out the most that she can. So she seems to be approaching it in a manner the way that you asked, Jake. And Ward at the moment seems to be nodding along, and he's visibly relaxed. And just as he was previously when he felt that action was happening, seems to be feeling better about something actually, that he has a way forward.
There we go. Babysitting is being taken care of.
Ali, I think your internet dropped out before, so you've gathered yourself another 25 pounds of miscellaneous
25, okay.
scrap bomb, garbage bomb makings. Not as much this time. It hasn't been that long because of your speed run since you last saw Mish, so there's not as much in there as there was before. All right, so Ward's palmed off on Mish at the moment. What would you guys like to do next?
Tunnels.
Time to go for a deep exploration of the hole.
We could do that too, and then after we could go to tunnels.
Sounds like a plan. Do you care about which hole?
I feel like this is a trick question.
Not this.
Look, it was. Good job picking up on it, though.
Fox pulls out a bagel like from pocket.
Yeah, I thought it was a shaft.
We like shafts and holes here.
I see.
Spa's just done.
And spot it out.
I'm just very proud of myself for laughing quietly there. Because I thought I was going to mute my mic there for a moment. The hell, you idiot. So what would you like to do, guys?
We're on hole diving.
I will hook my arm into whoever's closer, whether it is Zach or Fakionis, and begin leading the way to the hole.
At the moment, Zach's your closest based on just how I threw you guys in when you came in. So, Zach, you all right with linking arms with Jake as you exit? Cool.
Come on, magic man.
All right, so just so I can kind of chart where you guys are going from here, you're heading straight to the Arcanum Wares, straight to where the Glimmer is and where the hole in the basement was that you guys uncovered and that was just being guarded and just lightly sealed by Gregory the Golem.
Yes, yes. I think that's a good idea.
All right.
What does everyone else think?
Yep.
I think that Jake doesn't know the way there.
Do you know the way? All right, well, you're following. Zach,
So
you're up.
Alia,
Later, are we going that way?
disengaging Alia from the bin. Looks like Alia, you and Pocahontas are in the lead. And Brutus, who's currently still with you guys.
Sweet.
All right. So as you head down, I will move your characters. But you are noticing like there's been a bit of time passed, but you're only in the shop for I can't move your then move them down. I'm just watching them slide past on the screen because I haven't moved the whole thing down. You're noticing more and more that as more hours pass, it appears that more and more crawlers are successfully coming out of their dungeons. But even then, like it is still quite quick that these groups have exited, which just puts into perspective exactly how fast you guys got through, where you have had over a day essentially before you've even started to really see any signs of life. That is how far ahead with your run through the crawl that you were. But you were definitely starting to see some just going in and out of shops and walking the streets, but none really are near you. Mainly seem to be clustered around the most that you see kind of entry and exits of the Griffin's Rest Inn as you walk past the side entrance to that and kind of the balcony that's on the outside of it on the ground floor. And there also seems to be quite a few people that are frequenting the smithy as well from what you see as you guys walk along. But other than that, you don't really encounter too much more other than those few randoms and a few others scattering around like the tiefling that Jake scared the shit out of that clearly appear to be either coming or going from different markets and shops and heading with purpose one way or another.
What happened to that
I-
dude that we ran into when we got waffles?
You haven't seen that party again. That was the Brandon and Team Meadowlark.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the tiefling that Jake scared earlier, can he on the way past call out and wave to the tiefling? Just middle of the crowded area, get everyone's attention and just wave towards the tiefling.
Absolutely, and the tiefling, his name you never actually got because it was essentially just a grab question and scare the shit out of on a mission and then let them go. Much more heavily laden than the last time that you saw her, but almost drops, appears to be heading past the smithy as you call out and nearly drops that basket. And you actually see just this giant dragon arm snap out of the forge, grab the basket, hold it momentarily. She grabs it off that hand and then the arm goes back in. And it was very, very clearly the arm of the smith who was alert to the what was happening outside his shop and apparently has some extremely high level reflexes while he was working at his forge. And then she scurries off out of sight around the corner. disappearing basically towards on the map, the potion
Mm.
shop around that corner and away.
Can
Because you
I
guys are coming down the main thoroughfare.
can I call after her and just say like, your horse look really nice?
Let's see if she heard you. You won't know. Okay. Yep, you can certainly call that out.
Can I also call into the smithy and just be like, good reflexes?
You just get this woof, a flame goes out, making a couple of people move back on the footpath in response.
Love to see how else they can be used.
All you hear is a tung, tung, tung coming back out of the smithy. You don't know whether he caught that last one or not. Definitely heard the one before. I didn't smash. I shouldn't read your chat messages. You certainly did.
Or you should.
You heard him smashing in response to your funny double entendre, Jake. 100%. All right. So Jake momentarily disengaging from Zachary and then catching up, and you all re-enter into Arcanum Wares, which is really essentially the same as how you left it. It's that little cottage. It's still got a lot of stuff around it, but it's all lovingly placed, and it's not messy by any stretch. And it's that typical old lady. Feels a little bit cluttered, but it's not really. It's just the way things are laid out is gives you that impression, and quite possibly, the long-term aura of the owner permeating the space. And it also feels a little bit more spacious, at least in one section where the trapdoor is that is open, where the big overbearing presence of Gregory the Golem was. He's not currently in the store, but Glimmer is there behind the counter, looks up as you guys come in, and then, oh, you're back, dearies, and then everything just starts coming back out on the counter. The food is the Nana food is being back out. She's seen you guys, at least some of your party, eat, and is doubling down on her offerings of everything from savory to sweet to drinks to there's a teapot came out of somewhere. There's a little bit of a honey beside it. So what can I help you with today?
I wouldn't mind a spot of tea. That looks pretty good.
She's already pouring it.
Have a got any biscuits?
Oh, you can take that one with you. I'm not attached to that cup. It's all right.
Travel mug.
And in your hand, like, it is a proper tea cup. And you are literally, Fokionis, holding the tea with a thumb and forefinger and all of your fingers out to drink it.
Nice.
Jake will unlink arms from Zachary and move towards her. Hello, darling. Looking gorgeous as ever. We just wanted to
Oh,
know if we
thank
could once again head on down into those little tunnels. Just want to make sure that everything's going okay down there and have a little look around. Just worried about a few things.
Oh, yes. Gregory's down there. Go help yourselves. Let us know when we can close it all up. Just tell him we'll put the bricks back. And here, you need some more meat on your bones. You're wasting away there, Jake. And then just you get a plate handed to you. You have no choice. It's unceremoniously handed across to you, and it's got just a whole pile of different biscuits and meats and cheeses and all kinds of things, just all thrown together for you. You got within reach and you got some food.
So generous. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Make sure to make that one, and I point towards Zach. Also, he also needs a bit more meat on his bones.
Oh, yes, I can see. Obviously, he looks like he works hard. That one, and gives Fokionis's bicep that's holding the tea. So, semi-flex, a little squeeze. Oh, yes. Never hurts to have a bit more beef there, son. And basically lifting the whole tray. I've been handing it to Fokionis. Most of the food on the counter is now either in Jake's plate or on Fokionis's tray that he's somehow trying to balance with his cup of tea.
It's true. I was thinking that I was withering away here too.
You in the best shape in case something happens.
I mean, yeah, but got to keep it up.
As independent as I am, I do need myself a very strong orc.
We're going to circle back to that later. I'm not sure why. I'm a little scared to ask, maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know.
You have nothing to be scared about, and I'd like to pat the other bicep.
It's also kind of even more flex because of what he's trying to juggle with the food and the drink.
Fockianis hastily shoves all the food in his mouth at once, and then with bits of cake and crumb, and instead of her falling out, just goes, good, say hi, time, let's go.
No, I'm just gonna raise my eyebrow at him.
What? Look, you've got lots of stuff in that bag of yours.
Well, good luck. Hope it all goes all right, and just let us know when you're done, and we can block up the whole silly business and get everything fixed up. And if there's anything else you want to buy for your trip, please let me know. Still lots of good things here. Still some stuff left. All right, so you're all heading down.
I believe so.
Yeah,
At the-
unless there's anything else. Or if you guys want to buy some pretty gems.
You're in the magic shop essentially. So this one's Arcanum's Wares. Starry Night Jewelers you haven't been into yet. So in this shop there was a whole heap of different magical stuff, and it's where you've got I believe you selected the Wand of Polymorph as your reward item. But if you have a look, you'll see there's a bunch of different magical oriented items of varying quality.
Got an ogre in the background.
Mhm.
Right, well, for those of you who went down, and Jake, if you want to do some shopping, feel free. You notice you've got clear vision with the light that's coming from above for those of you that can't see in the dark. And you notice that some of the shelving has been either built or rebuilt. So it's definitely been cleaned up. So all of that broken debris, that's all been removed. It's no longer there. It's looking neat. It's looking tidy. Some of the shelving has been, and cupboards have been replaced or built into place. You can't really tell because of the destruction that was in there before, but it's starting to look, at least in the first around 15, 20 feet of light you've got from that hatchway and further for those of you that can see further, but there's around 20, 30 feet of shelving that has been placed along the walls. And then because it is it's around a 15, 20 meter wide storage space. So there's also a line of shelving down the middle as well. And you can definitely see signs of, even though it's only been a few hours, or overnight in a few hours, you would imagine Gregory has been busy at work down here looking at the type of work that's been completed, but Glimmer may well have some unknown skills and talents that could surprise you. There's no stock or anything back on those shelves, just clean and tidy and repaired. Are you
Right,
guys
let's
gonna?
keep walking. Are we
Jake,
heading
were
over?
you doing any? Sorry for again. So you got doing any shopping before?
No. I was trying to make a little wholesome joke about her being a gem. Not. I don't have money. I just spent it all on babysitting.
You splashed some cash on that. That's for sure. And I just saw what you wrote in chat as well. All right, so heading down as you guys walk down familiar territory, but it's just cleaner and tidier. And after about 30-ish feet, the shelving units have stopped. So it's only that repair work or reconstruction work's only gone so far. And as you get down towards, is anyone giving light to those that can't see? Because the Alia and Zachary, that spell has long passed of providing dark vision. That's gone many, many, many hours ago. Are you doing anything to create that, or are Alia and Zachary basically just being led into the darkness? Because that's what you're entering at this point.
I have dark vision.
Does
Oh, sorry, Jake and
Jake-
Alia. I keep mixing that up. I'm sorry, Zachary. Sorry, Egg.
I've got no spells for that, so
I thought you did
What
have
do you
dark
mean?
vision.
I've got dark vision, yes, but I can't help you.
Yeah. So there's 2 of you that can see in the dark and 2 of you that can't, and rely on some sort of other means of light or a spell like you did with dark vision for Jake to be able to see in the dark.
I'll probably do the exact same thing and just chill on Fox's shoulder.
All right. So Alia
Back.
jumps up on Fokionus's shoulders.
Pasta to help as well, I think.
As what? Sorry.
What?
There's some sort of pasta that can help Jake see, I think.
Oh, you mean spaghetti?
Or I could just give him dark vision.
I was thinking, when did he get a hamburger to let him see in the dark off Mort? That's the bloody sport. I didn't
Before
expect this to be
that,
such a comment. Just want to know if anyone is doing anything around the people who can't see in the dark.
I'm giving Jake dark vision.
Yep.
While
Some more
I
spaghetti.
chill on Fox's shoulder.
All right. So you've given it simultaneous to you giving the dark vision to Jake. So Jake, you immediately see a monochrome, and then raising a rapier and with the dashing spaghetti phrase, it just lights up the space. The flames filling the darkness with light. And as you guys walk down, you can see Gregory now still in that form that was around 6 foot in height. So he hasn't regrown back to the size that you saw him in, that was around like 12 to 15 feet. Hard to get a clear view on. It was so imposing in the shop, but he's down to around 6 feet in height, and he's just standing there. He turned his head, seeing you guys come in, recognized who you were, and he's just been watching the where the hole in the wall was. And as you guys get closer, you see that it's essentially got what's the equivalent of some plywood tacked over it, so just to cover the hole. And then there is a Gregory in front of the hole, and he's standing back from it. There's plenty of space there, and he watched you guys, and now he's back to doing what Glimmer had asked him to do when you guys left, which was patch up the hole and watch it.
Okay. So we have to ask him to unpatch so we can proceed.
Yeah, you can if you want. So is someone gonna
Gregory,
hit him up?
my wonderful metal brethren, could you please assist us by removing your temporary covers so that we may enter the dungeon, the whole crevice, the thing that we went before, the place. You know, come on, man, get me through.
You sort of seem definitely you can just tell from, don't know how you can tell, but you can tell from that Golem body language that he's thinking over and processing what you're saying, and then seems to get it, because there was obviously instructions given from Glimmer as well, and just walks over and just very quickly and efficiently, and you can see that timber was only, not exactly sure how, but it was only lightly tacked in place. It was definitely not a barrier to keep the golems out. The golems out. To keep the gnolls out. It was just to cover the gap that was in there, and he was the main deterrent. And just quickly and efficiently, it takes moments for him to remove and neatly stack that very thin timber to the side of the hole. And you'd notice that all the debris has been cleaned from inside this space, and is now all neatly stacked to the side of the hole that you guys walked into, and then up that slight incline. It's been very much neatened up, and it's now open for you guys.
Awesome. I will proceed first,
All right.
which obviously means that Alia is with me.
Yep.
100%.
Need to change the map over. Bring you guys in. And I've got to put Brutus in this time as well. This just helps me chart where you guys are. It's just the Gnoll map, the one that you guys have. Nothing
I'm pretty sure we've reunited with the Drake as well, haven't we?
Not yet, you haven't, because you left him past the swampy water that you lit on fire. So he's a little ways into the Gnoll Hole itself, which you're not to yet. So you guys are basically, you've just re-entered in through. If you can give me a marching order, sorry, just the way you're going to navigate this, whether it's one or two people, just so I know how you're kind of traveling. Then we can get to your physical position. Sorry, I'm just going to put a pin in that, Racer. So it's Fokionis, Alia's on his back. Then behind Zach and Jake, or is one of you walking beside Fokionis?
I will once again offer Zach my arm if he would like it. We
Yeah.
are going into a deep, dark area with many shafts and holes. It'd be
True.
pretty scary.
Oh my god.
No. Yeah, let's go.
All right. And Brutus, I'm going to put Brutus beside you guys, just because he'll be basically beside Alia, seeing as how he can be, with the two of you walking behind, arm in arm. So as you guys come through that pathway that you've walked before, through the Gnoll Hole, are you doing anything to actively be looking for any kind of like traps or anything, or are we just doing the passives again? I'm only asking because if you want to actively look, I need to get you to do some rolls. If you want to just use your passives, I'll continue through the movement.
What do we think? I mean, from memory, like it was other than gnolls and traps and fire, pretty smooth sailing until the gloopy river. Passive, maybe?
I'm down for going passive.
Passive. Passive it is.
All right. Well, no one else is disagreeing. So, as you guys head on through, you've got the whole area is being lit up by that rapier still, the spaghetti rapier. You head up. That initial entrance is much clearer. The debris is all off to the side. You head up that familiar pathway. Now you've walked a few times. The narrow steps at the top that take you through into the landing where you had the flaming Gnoll bomb launched at you. It's scorched earth, and there's still that now is no longer a goop, but a stinking, not quite rotting yet because it was fairly decently cooked, but pile of Gnoll flesh and remains. And I'll go back to the Gnoll Hole now that we've entered through here. 3, 2 seconds. I've got to move a few things. Where's the Gnoll Hole? There it is.
Hey, there we go. Oh, do we have to move ourselves back to the entrance?
Hang on. Where are the? Where's Alia? Is she on? No. Oh, I think I hit her because she was on. I hit her because she was on Fokionis' shoulders, which she still is.
top right.
I'll leave you guys where you are at the moment. Now, as you're coming through, and you hit this all too familiar goop that you've slogged your way through before. As I'm just leaving you there because your miniature's already there, Zach. As you walk through it, it doesn't seem to be quite as viscous as it was before. It seems to be a little bit easier going. And you guys make your way through without the DM asking you to roll d6s as you navigate that swampy water. So you find yourselves over the other side of it, and I'll bring Alia and I'll bring Brutus in. And Alia, with you sitting on Fokionis' shoulders, you notice as soon as your little Drake sees you, he comes scurrying over and he's wrapping himself around Fokionis's legs. Absolutely delighted to see you. Has not left his post where you asked him to stay. He's right where you left him. And he's seems very excited and overjoyed. He's chittering away at seeing you again.
Do I know that that's what's
Sweet.
around my leg?
You can. It's lit up. The distance is
cool.
clearly visible from Jake's rapier. But
Cool,
man,
cool.
I am happy to get you to roll tonight and see if you recognize the Drake. If you want to, the way you're rolling, that could
No, no.
be very.
Let's not be hasty now.
That can be interesting. All right,
No.
I'll bring the Drake over there. To not be like stacking 5 different creatures on the one space. And just for ease of movement, I might just hide the Drake at the moment as well, just to make it easy to move these. So you guys are back at the scene of, again, there's a few of the corpses still there in bits and pieces, and there's one still drilled into the stonework, that its head is still there on the arrow that was skewered it, but the body seems to have lost the ability to stay connected to the head and has actually slumped down on the floor. But there is, a bloody gnoll head with an arrow through its eye, firmly embedded in the wall next to the entrance that, or exit that you guys went through before. So are you heading straight back through? You're not picking up none of you with your passive perceptions have picked up any kind of even hint of problems at the moment.
Before we head back through, can I untangle my arm from Zax and just go burn the slumped over body real quick? And then skip back and rehook my arm.
Yep, absolutely. There's now a crackling corpse next to the hole. It was like one of the few gnolls that have been left unmolested or unburned. It's now gone. Oh, it's on fire. Smells like sheep. You're getting a very roast mutton vibe as the the flesh cooks once the stinking armor is burnt away. All right, so you guys heading through into the tunnel then?
Yes.
All right. Go back then to the Gnoll map just so I can track your walking through there. So as you step through, that rusty bear trap, the broken rusty bear trap, is still standing, still sitting beside the entrance. Nothing appears to have changed from what any of you pick up or notice. The pile of rubble from the partially collapsed explosion is still there, so you will need to proceed through single file. But is your intention to head through, like, back to the intersecting tunnel / shaft where Starry Night Jewelers had its offshoot? Is that how far you're looking to proceed here?
Yeah, I suppose we should be going that way because that's the way we went last time, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yep. So to give you the, like, if you look at that
We can
map
crawl through
that's got the
single file
line on
map,
it, you've essentially got that main really reinforced and well constructed hallway that obviously has rubble over it at the moment, but you can crawl through that.
Yep.
And then it's the rough hewn tunnel that went underneath the Starry Night Jewelers.
Yep.
And the main, I get self-conscious every time I say the word now because of you mongrels. The main shaft continues past that as well, but it sort of curves slightly. So you don't have a clear view of exactly how far it goes.
You're like a whale.
What?
No, you look it up later.
Okay. Sure. All right. So when you get to the intersection where the Starry Night Jewelers is, yes, Lily, yes, it is. You see, like, you haven't picked up any kind of danger or issues. You're not hearing any of the voices currently, even just from the entrance like you did last time. It doesn't sound either like there's anyone in the shop or that anyone is talking in there. If they are, they're talking quietly. Are you going back down into that side tunnel, or are you intending to keep on, like, heading down the main shaft that I'm going to continue trying to say with a straight face?
Good luck with. Do you want to roll to
I
see if you
know.
can?
I shouldn't know. I shouldn't look at you guys when I'm said. I need to, like, put another screen up.
You'll not look at us, not look at chat, not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I don't
Is
know
that
about
the-
you guys, but I feel like we should keep adventuring and exploring the nice long shaft.
Mm. Yes. Do we need to slip over this way?
Want to go down the side hole, or
don't know.
Because I mean,
mean-
we're already in this hole. I don't feel like we need to swap to a different hole.
So the one you're next, you got the main one that goes straight ahead, and then there's the one you've already explored that terminates under the floorboards of Starry Night Jewelers. So
Yeah.
where you
So-
guys are on the map, the map that's got the red line on it, you're currently at the essentially the X next to the 12. That's where you've progressed at the moment.
So we need to keep going along the main line till we get to the castle.
We're just all
Yeah.
about the castle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's forge on, I guess.
All right. So with that decision made, Zach, you with the very thorough investigation you did of that previous trap and the identification of the pressure plate that triggered it, you can see just before anyone heads off, you can see that approximately 10 to 15 feet past the side tunnel that has been dug in the main walkway in a really similar position to where it was stood on by Jake and Alia to set off the previous explosion. You can actually see with your passives, you can just make out that there is a pressure pad that is identical there. And you can make safely make an assumption that this looks like it's a very similar kind of trap that is away from the side tunnel and has the same setup as the one that collapsed the tunnel behind Jake and Alia and caught you and Fokionis in that explosion.
They go, whoa, 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 everyone. And like just point it out to them.
Whoa,
Guys,
whoa,
I think
whoa,
this
whoa,
is
whoa.
another trap. We should not set it off this time and blow ourselves up. Guys.
How do we have to set it off from afar, or
I
what's
mean,
the
just mark it and don't step on it.
We
right?
could try and disarm it.
Disarm it.
Or we
Yeah.
could be disarmed if we don't.
I'm able. I will risk losing a
You
single arm. I feel.
You think you can disarm it?
No,
Yeah, I
me?
don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I think I can try and disarm it.
Alright, give it a go. I'll be
Just
standing
to me, are you
way
just gonna
back
make it go
over
boom
there.
with your flamey swordy thing, or you're gonna
Uh,
actually try and disarm it?
I should turn that sword off in case. I don't know. In case it
But then
goes
you
off.
won't be able to see and
No, I'm pretty sure. Didn't
disarm it safely.
Alia use the dark? Yeah, I can turn it off. I just won't be able to see colors.
Cut the green wire.
You're
They're
wrong.
on the-
That's the red wire. Wire.
So you'll just basically be like Spa trying to disarm a bomb.
Yeah, I'm
No
sure
colour
I can
perception.
do this. This will be fine.
All right, so Jake, before I get you to roll, Jake, to tell you guys where this is. So it's essentially it's just in the almost cobblestone type walkway. It's not really cobblestone, but it has been laid down to give you like a nice smooth surface to work on and possibly for workers to construct the rest of this tunnel. There is one particular part of that is just ever so slightly raised. And now that Zachary has pointed it out, it's very clear to you. Same color, same design as everything else. It is just slightly raised and there's a shadow being cast by the sword, so you can all see where it is in the center of the center of the tunnel. There is ample room. You guys don't need to roll if you want to move past it, and obviously you guys know where the known good space is back behind you. I just need to know where you guys are standing when Jake goes to disarm it. Are you standing around watching and trying to help? Is anyone assisting with this, or are you all moving away?
I'm giving moral support, but from afar.
All right.
Yeah, we're all moving away. We're a good
Oh, Jake,
15, 20
go.
feet back.
You got this.
Yep. And are you going past it, like further down the
No,
shaft, or are you going back?
Back.
Yep. So you're heading back essentially towards the pile of rubble, going.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You're going to the non-safe area. Okay. So as the rest of your party is giving you moral support and wishing you all the best while backing away from you quite quickly,
Hmm.
Jake, Have you got like thieves tools and proficiency and stuff with those?
I do actually.
Oh, good. That will definitely help. Can you give me then? What's your roll to disarm? I've got the DC. I don't know what I actually need to get you to. First time you've tried to disarm a trap. What do you normally roll for that? How many D&D experts have done this before? Can you tell me?
I've done sleight of hand before, and I've done stealth before when disarming things.
I'm going to get you to do with this type of trap and the way it's set up. Thank you for that. I will get you to do sleight of hand, please, and you will get to do it. It's just a straight roll. It would have been at disadvantage if you didn't have thieves' tools.
27.
Okay, was that a natural 20 as
No,
well?
that's an
or
18.
18. Oh, you've got some buffs. So with that incredibly high roll, you guys can see all of this, apart from Alia, who's now plunged into darkness. Jake, the darkness seems to make it even easier for you to focus. There's no colors that need to be discerned. You're able to get the flat blade of your tools to slightly elevate the pressure pad, and when you look underneath, it is a very simple mechanism with two wires heading off that you are able to simultaneously sever that completely breaks that circuit. And not only were you able to do that, but you can actually see in the darkness the path that those wires take through the flooring, and are able to not just locate but also take out six sticks of dynamite from the walls, so 3 from each side. So you now have 6 sticks of dynamite. And you
So we
guys
go
see
to
Jake
pyro
just
and our groups
rapidly do all of this
dynamite.
and tinkers at the wall, and there's a section falls away, and you know, a couple of tubular things fall out, and you see Jake catch them quickly. Yep, you've now got 6 sticks of dynamite. They don't need to be identified. You have them. They're in your inventory. And if you look at their properties, they are both currently done into bundles of 3. So if you decide to use them, we can dig in a bit more to what that does, but they are bundled up into two bundles of 3 sticks of dynamite.
Excellent.
I don't think D&D Beyond will let you do that much, but just so you know, because you can separate them or you can leave them bundled, or you can bundle them, I think, further. I need to look at that. Hey,
Yeah,
Lily, I didn't give you the dynamite. You gave yourself the dynamite.
I have dynamite. It is still the takeaway.
Uh-oh. Well, you earned it.
It's a big uh-oh.
Good news, guys. The thing's disarmed. Better news, guys. We got the dynamite. A grin even bigger than the burning has spread across Jake's face.
What could possibly go wrong here?
All right. Let's keep going. And hopefully find more dynamite on the way. I'm keeping an eye out for it.
So we're heading on.
Can I just confirm that? So at the moment we've got Jake in front, just by the nature of where Jake is, with like heading down and with having gathered dynamite, and just a scary look of joy across his face at the explosives. Is anyone walking beside Jake? Because you can go 2 across in the tunnel if you want to.
Yeah.
I'll just ask you this
I'll
one,
keep going
and we'll kind of go back to this.
I'll keep walking beside you.
All right, and then we've got the Phocyonis, Alia on his shoulders, the ferret scurrying around his feet, and Brutus trotting along by his side. It's just the whole menagerie. And every now and then, nudging the ferret out from under your feet. One, because it can't
Is
occupy
that a
your space with
euphemism for
Alia.
something I don't know? You're nudging the ferret? I don't just want to make sure. It's not?
not
Okay.
for me, but if it is
No,
for
good.
you, I
No,
expand
that's why I
it
was
sometime.
asking.
Maybe it's an Adelaideism.
Mm. Hey, no ferrets here, mate.
So as you guys go up further, you navigate about another 60 feet along the tunnel, and as it curves around, it sort of flattens out and straightens, and then off to the side again. So similar to what it was with Starry Night Jewelers, off to the left of this main tunnel, there's another one of those rough-hewn tunnels, and because you've now got that very clear map from Mort and you're following it along, you're very confident that that tunnel actually leads towards the X that is marked under sharpshooter supplies.
Sharpshooter supplies. If only someone in our group would be interested in sharpshooter supplies. Hmm.
Ooh,
So there's a
I
side
think
tunnel or
they
no?
have much under
It's
there,
a side
short,
tunnel.
Yeah.
considering it's an X there. I think you just keep going.
Oh, yeah, that means they have no cellar, yes?
That is what Mort said to you
That's-
guys, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
sorry, Zach,
do we wish to... I mean... Oh, are we just forging on? Are we assuming there's no one else in there? Or are we assuming that, you know, I don't want to be outflanked?
All right, we'll check it out then.
Okay.
All right, so you're heading down into the side tunnel?
Yeah.
Let's go explore the side
That's real
tunnel.
quick.
Just, yeah.
Yep.
Do a quick
But
swim.
careful. I mean, you know.
Are you being stealthy, or are you
Yes,
just...
Of
Yep,
course.
okay.
But
Can I
quick,
get
efficient.
all of you then please to give me stealth checks, and Miss Racer, can you also roll the same for Brutus and for your ferret? I'll need to put your ferret back in. As you stealthily...
Sorry, what was that stealth check?
Yep, so you're doing stealth checks for yourself, Brutus, and your Drake.
Well, I can't do the Drake
All right, I'll do the Drake.
and Brutus because I'm not in Foundry at the moment.
Okay, I'll do them.
Oh, sleight of hand. Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
No, stealth.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Okay, so your Drake rolled an 18. Brutus rolled a 5.
Nice. I got a 17.
All right. I actually just need the numbers for the group. So 18, 5, 17. Poccionus?
Oh, look, thank God for +2 modifiers. 4.
4. Yep. Jake?
16.
Yep. And Zach?
So I hope we weren't planning on actually being
15.
stealthy because I got nothing.
All right.
Stealthy when we have dynamite.
I
Oh my
mean,
god.
So I was like, oh fuck.
Shit. Oh, that dynamite could not have gone to a better or a worse character. It's fantastic. Okay. So as you guys head down that tunnel, just carefully moving along, Brutus does, in his excitement, he can smell something, maybe like a gnoll peat on the wall or something, and kind of breaks from that very close eye that he always keeps on Alia, and ducks across to a side wall, and he is just about to trip into like what's probably a little latrine pit or something that's been dug there, but Poccionus quickly reaches out, catches him, and almost falls himself, only to be caught by Jake. So there's this little balancing act with Alia holding on and pulling back on Poccionus. So Poccionus has got a leg under Brutus, and Alia's got a hold of Jake. Jake's got a hold of Poccionus, and Zachary's helping out in there somewhere. But through all of it, and the ferret
we're
is like
down a
has
side
jumped
shaft,
up
get the leg over.
and grabbed a hold of the back of Poccionus's skirt that he says isn't a skirt, and is just enough of a counterweight to keep you all moving along without somehow making too much of a noise. And as you get to the end of the tunnel, it's that same thing as it was before, very, very similar, around 15, 20 feet in total. There's a slightly larger area of floor that's been cleared with the big red X, and above you, you guys can just hear this. And and then there's a pause and that Alia, you especially recognize as someone is firing arrows at a target above where you guys are. So you're very confident that it's the sharpshooter supplies. And it's the X on the floorboards, no cellar under that shop.
Meow, meow. Do we
Lily
keep
has so
going?
much fire behind her now. It's crazy.
I just switched back to the cameras.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go back and yeah, so there's nothing, no one hiding in here, you reckon? All right, let's
You
head back.
with your passive, you're
Yeah, just
definitely not seeing anyone. No.
No.
And you're not picking up on any traps, or you navigated the tunnel without any issue. Nothing was set off.
all right. Let's keep going along the main strip and look out for more dynamite.
All right. So as you exit the tunnel, Zach, you're firmly on the lookout, and you can see almost in the same spot. This time, same distance away from this side tunnel, there is another one of those pressure pads. This time it is tucked closer to the right-hand side wall, but you've got eyes on it straight away. You're basically looking in that region now almost as soon as you come out of one of these spots. So you can clearly notice it and do with that as you will.
I go, Jake, dynamite.
Oh my god, dynamite!
Just this point.
What can possibly go wrong with this?
I would like to get the dynamite.
All right. Now Jake is heading off towards that. What are the rest of you guys doing as Jake's as soon as seen that is heading towards that pressure pad?
Yeah,
Are you just standing in the current entrance where you guys are? Or are you gonna go forward again, or are you gonna back away like you did last time?
Stand
Pressure
like,
pad's around 15 feet from where you guys currently are.
yeah, we'll stay where we are then, I think. Yeah? Yeah. We'd stay where we are. And watch Jake do his thing.
No worries.
He
All
looks
right,
so
Jake.
happy.
Give us that sleight of hand roll again. Still a straight roll.
About a 28 this time.
You, with
course you
practice,
did.
ease, and with everyone except Ali, you're able to see like the smile that is just with each successful movement just growing. Not even sure if Jake is aware of it, but there is a glint in his eye that's visible even in the darkness, and a smile that is just a rictus grin as he just simultaneously cuts those cords again and all but sprints to the wall to secure another 2 bundles of dynamite. So another 6 sticks of dynamite successfully
This is
achieved.
a Ralph, haha, we're in danger moment.
I'm not in danger until I light it.
Dude, oh, Spar's gonna regret this.
Yep.
Alright, we keep going.
That's what it's all about. All right. So as you keep on heading up, I'm just going to move you guys inland a little bit. Oh, and I've taken the Starry Night Jewelers with me. Oops, a daisy. As you guys are heading up, the tunnel is now taking a bit of a winding path, so it's seems to be moving around a little bit, and you know from the map that that is essentially to navigate around whatever it's didn't like next to that shop next to the 10, and then to curl its way back to the number 9. So to bring you back underneath what you think on the map, at least from what Mort has mapped out, is the Mystic manuscripts, also marked with an X. So you're at that next side tunnel. This time the tunnel branches off, as you can see where it is, off to the right. So as the other last two are on the left, this one's off to the right.
Are we still checking? I assume we're checking as we go.
I'm
Yeah,
taking it that
just-
you're using your passives until you tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just, yeah, we'll go down that tunnel, check it
All right.
passively, and
Yeah.
just for Fokionus's peace of mind.
I personally am not going to bother with stealth because it's no use for me. Just saying.
You just
Alright, yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
make
we
it,
won't, we'll,
just make it worse.
like we
Alright.
we won't be especially loud, but we'll because we know we're under a store, right?
Okay, so you're not specifically
not.
trying to be stealthy, you're just trying to be a bit careful.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm just going to do...
Is there a caution check?
No.
This is like we
Sounds
don't.
like an athletics check.
We
No,
we
that
just
was...
yeah.
Sorry, Egg.
we just don't want to like the store to realize we're below them, obviously. But like obviously, if they've carved all this out just below the store, then maybe they did that at night. Yeah, it's probably more likely
And without dynamite?
without dynamite.
Right, just okay. That seems logical, yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, other than that, we're just normal.
All right. So as you're just being a bit cautious, making your way down the tunnel, you hear this muttering, and it's just a voice, and it's not always coherent, but you're hearing things like, oh, the new stock just came in, and should I keep this one or should I put it on the I've been keeping this one for so long. I still need to get around to reading it, or do I sell it? It'll be worth a lot of money, especially after the next dungeon. And I don't know. And you can just hear it with this muttering. There's like, you can hear the sound of Zach with you, especially the sound of books being moved and then moved and then moved and quite possibly moved back again. And this is very clearly from what you guys can hear underneath. As you reach the floorboards and see again that familiar X spray painted or painted, sorry, on the ceiling above you, the floorboards above you. But as you get there and you kind of get just underneath, you can see that there's actually some small cracks in the floorboard. There's a little bit of light coming through on that. You can hear a little bit more clearly, but you also hear that muttering kind of stop and go, oh, what was that? Mice? Rats? I definitely need to get some traps or poison out. There's got to be something under the floorboards. Problem for tomorrow. Now these books. What do I keep this one? Do I read this one? And so do with that information what you will, as you are under Mystic manuscripts.
Alright, just
Seems
do
all
like
clear.
a quick 2-second look that it's a dead end. Just check
Yep.
and then
Yep, it is.
head off.
All right,
Head
and
back,
we
and then
we're
look for traps.
so following the familiar pattern, and instantly you note the position of the next pressure point. This one is over against the left hand side wall. You've now had a couple in the center, one to the left, one to the right. Doesn't seem to be a lot of pattern you can pick up on. It's a little bit random, but they just seem to be slightly mixed up. But you clearly see it. It's exactly the same as the others. There is nothing different here.
I point it out to Jake.
Dynamite. My dynamite.
I'm just picturing Jake saying this as he skips.
Gonna get some dynamite, gonna blow things up, gonna set some fires and
I
things.
All right, yeah, give me that roll again. Oh, sorry. While you're doing the roll, is everyone else just staying essentially at the entrance again? You're not following Jake down that 15 feet?
No, just go with him this time.
Oh, Zach's going with him this
Trust him.
time. All right. Anyone else going along to, get a better look at what Jake's doing, where he just sort of seems to be whipping his these little set of tools around, and then all of a sudden he's pulling dynamite out of the walls? Or is it just Zach?
No, staying well away from the pyro with
Focionis is taking a step
12
back
sticks of
after being
dynamite.
bludgeoned.
Just
Ali,
saying.
are you going down to? Oh no, you're with Focionis. Never mind. So
Mm.
all of your party stays
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay, Jake, what was your role?
It was 11 this time. I blame Zach for coming over and watching me. The pressure.
And with that, and you guys see that, and Zach's leaning over to get a closer look. Obviously casting a shadow in the dark. As Jake is seems a little bit rushed with this
Moonlight
one,
shadow?
and you see this shit as the two wires are not severed simultaneously, and it sets off this eruption between the two of you. So you made a smart move not moving forward, and the two of you, they're at the trap. As you noticed before, it all exploded behind you. But give me a sec. I just need to see how much is... Okay, so the explosion itself seems to be somewhat muted on the side that Jake cut the wire of slightly before the second wire. So the one side of it is that same sort of rough terrain that you could crawl through single file. You just can't move through two abreast. So there's now a second semi-collapsed section of the tunnel, but the debris itself did not actually fully fill the tunnel, and because of your positioning, no one got hurt.
But
Does that mean that there's dynamite still in the wall?
No, both sets of dynamite went off. It just
Aw.
one was a slightly smaller, more muted explosion. It didn't seem to. You can go and investigate and see if there's any left. Go ahead, please. Roll an investigation on that left-hand side and see if there's any. It's worth a look. It certainly didn't blow up as much as the other one.
21.
21. I'll give you with a 21 that you pulled together enough scraps and like a bit of dynamite casing and what you think is some gunpowder that you are able to just get a bit of, a few threads of the hemp rope, tie it up. You reckon you are really confident, Jake, that you've got yourself another stick of dynamite there. But can you mark down on that one as like a question mark? That is a single stick of questionable dynamite.
It's okay, guys. I got one. I still got one.
are you sure? Wasn't there a big bang?
Just
Well, I
piping
feel
dust
like
from her face. Just...
And like
I
ears ringing. Exactly, you're the one who gets the closest look, and like you're seeing this thing that looks like a stick of dynamite that is also kind of tied up with extra layers of hemp rope that the others definitely didn't have around. And there's a significantly shorter fuse coming out the end of it.
I am 99.95% sure that it will not explode upon putting it in my pocket.
In your pocket. All right, so you're not putting it in your storage, you're just pocketing it?
This one's going in my pocket.
All right, pocket dynamite.
Look, what? No, just
Oh god. All right, so the two of you that are left back behind the rubble, are you heading through to check on the others? Oh, sorry, the two with your animal menagerie.
Yep.
All right. So you clamber your way through single file, joining back up, and now you've got like quite a straight shot that goes ahead of you guys around 45 feet, and then turns to the right, so you can't quite see what's around the corner, but you can see straight ahead is almost a straight shot. And on the map, it is marked as the enchanted thread.
I feel like we should be cautious here.
You reckon?
Whoa, nah. I feel like we should let Jack go first.
I can do that.
You check away with dynamite. What do you think?
I could set off some dynamite if you like to.
I mean, no, there's definitely plenty of point being quiet now.
So no to the dynamite idea.
Maybe just hold on to it for now. We could need it later on.
I do like holding explosive sticks.
Okay. Yep.
Let's look down this corridor then.
All right, so you're heading down. Again, I'll let you know if your passives pick up anything, and as yet the only thing you've really found has been the pressure pads that Zachary is zoned in on. Alia, you at this point sitting up on Fokionus's shoulders and having had on and off vision for quite some time, you start to notice with your sense of smell that has stood you in good stead mostly, that you're really noticing that the humidity being more increased was something Zachary picked up on early on and mentioned to you guys. You are noticing that you can definitely feel and smell and almost taste the moisture is getting heavier in the air. That humidity is definitely growing the further you get into the tunnel. Not any danger signs or anything, but you in particular have noticed that it's getting more and more humid as you navigate further and
Yeah, well,
further
look at my
in
fur.
the tunnel.
Doesn't work well in humid conditions. Yeah. Fox
Or you
starting to get
imagine-
his hair and his ears. Up his nose.
So you can make the rest of the group aware, or you keep that to yourself. That's up to you.
I will make
you-
the rest of the group aware.
All right. And so the rest of you can notice that as well, and you sort of feel it's like those what you may have mistaken for sweat, especially after just watching the walls explode. And thankfully, everybody was okay. That is definitely that humidity increasing and more of a moisture content and a little bit of a like dripping from some of the rafters and the supports every now and then, but it's not much. It's just increasing now that Alia has pointed it out to you. So you're heading down to where the enchanted thread is marked on the map, where you think it is?
Yeah. Why does it feel like we're going under a lake or something? There's no lakes on the map. I don't think so. Oh, well, go check it out.
All right, so as you guys get down there, I'm just going to keep your marching order the same as what it has been. You come to where you would expect, like what you've seen with the X's. There's been these side tunnels marked, and where they're marked on the map. There's been these side tunnels dug in that you were able to go and walk into and explore. With on the map as you're walking along and looking and following, there is an undeniable, apart from Alia, who's back in pitch darkness trying to get her floofing coat down and under control. There is a big, can't really see it color wise, but it would be red. But it's definitely a monochrome gray that is standing out with those of you with dark vision as you're looking. And that circle is around 8 to 10 feet in diameter. Right where that O, underneath where you think the enchanted thread would be. And around that paintwork, there are meticulously dug alcoves that Jake, they remind you very clearly of the alcoves that you pulled the dynamite from. Zachary, because you had such a high investigation with the dynamite, you've seen parts of them that look similar when you went and had a good look through where the wall exploded. But for Jake, you have definitely seen these before, and they look like what's underneath when you disarm the trap and are able to take away the veneer and remove the dynamite sticks. But these are just empty holes around the outside of that painted circle. I'm not sure what you guys want to do with that. Everyone just went silent.
Oh, it's muted.
There we go.
Hey, so well, it looks like they've planted explosives all around here, then removed them, or did they
They have not yet.
sort of like set it up to put explosives in?
Um,
I think could be
I'll give you with your passive,
nice.
that just passively looking at the setup of it, you can't see any wires or connections or anything there. It looks like the alcoves that have been set up, and there's no like thing for veneer to go over the top of it. It appears like they've been dug in, ready for dynamite or something to be included in there.
Yeah.
If you want to dig in a bit more, I'll need to get you to do a roll. If you want to investigate it further or see what you can perceive.
But other than that, it's just a room, dead end room by itself.
The main tunnel is continuing, and this is just a section where there is a big painted circle with meticulously cut sections around 6 to 8 of those alcoves that have been carved around it, evenly spaced, with one in the center.
Right. So you would say possibly that they've obviously, in preparation of breaking through to the basement, but have not yet done that, as they had done at Arcanum Wares.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I mean, we could explode the basement.
No.
Oh,
Save it for the castle.
Look,
that is a fair point.
you don't want to go off early.
You broke egg with that one. I almost managed to hold it together.
Never too early to explode.
It looks like that didn't go through to the keeper, Dante. It got a reaction.
I'm not touching it.
While you guys are doing that, looking around, the next section is right beside you too, Zachary, and you are now, very familiar with. There is another one of those pressure pads. Again, it's around 10 to 15 feet from where you guys are currently standing.
So we've moved on. Yes,
You're a little bit closer to this one than what you have been with the others, where you've exited the tunnel. It's created a little bit more space. This one, the pressure pad is a little bit closer to you, or to your party.
Jake, there's another one. More
Mhm.
dynamite.
Just
Then-
zips right on by.
He's
And we're like, get back, everyone! Back!
All right.
Please,
So is
it's
anybody
only half exploded so far.
is anybody else going up with Jake this time? Anyone standing
hell no.
still? Anyone moving
No,
backwards?
we're all moving back.
Yeah, we're going
Okay.
further and further backwards.
All right, Jake.
Midnight
Give me
snow.
your
That's
roll.
stinky. A 12.
A 12. So again, like just hands shaking with excitement at the prospect of more dynamite. That all too familiar out of sync slip and a resonating explosion. Your ears have only just stopped ringing from the previous one. Let's see how much it covers. And with that explosion, both of the sets of dynamite go off, and that shaft is now at the present point completely covered between the two of you. So Jake on one side, the rest of your party on the other.
On the other side of that pile, I sort of
Yep.
slowly pan and look at Zach and go, do you think maybe there's a chance that that's on purpose?
And there is that much rubble between you guys to let you know you can't hear each other either.
Maybe you should try next time?
Maybe. Yeah, Jake, you alright? You okay? Jake? Jake? Jake!
We are killing it on the stealth.
Oh my god, that is. Noel's got nothing on you. I will let you guys know in terms of the rubble that is there, with the strength, just the passive strength of Phocionis and Alia. With the two of you guys working together, you'll be able to clear that rubble in about an hour. you'll be able to
Eh,
half an hour to make it like one walkway through like you do before. An hour if you want to completely clear it to make it so that you can all walk through normally. But it is rubble. It's not like big slabs that are unmovable. It's just a fair bit to shift by hand because you don't have any other tools. And Zachary, you could definitely help out as well with some of the smaller items.
I mean, feel free.
Well, I'm going to be asking two questions here. I'm going to be asking what the main group is doing, and then I'm going to come to you, Jake, and see what
can I use a crowbar?
Use this wand of polymorph to turn someone into a giant badger.
All right.
That's a burrow speed.
Okay, get that up. Alia, you can use the crowbar, and I didn't realize, I've forgotten that you had that. But with that, you'd probably take, if you're doing half the section, you'd probably cut it down. With you and Fokionis working in concert, you probably cut it down to 20 minutes to clear half and 40 minutes to clear the full section with your passives. And now, Zachary, sorry, you were looking at turning someone into a badger. So tell me about the badger's burrowing.
Yeah, it has a burrow speed of like 10 feet with a move action, so you can just like go straight through. But yeah, do you think that would help probably clear the way for Fokionis and well, like it'd leave a tunnel behind it, wouldn't it? So
yep,
you'd probably just clear it out, no problem.
And if it's doing that tunnel, I mean, it'd be a little bit of a wriggle for someone Fokionis' size, but you guys would be able to, with the giant badger, you'd be able to go through that tunnel. You could certainly do that and create a tunnel through the rubble. Yes, that would cut down the time. Like the width of the previous explosion took out around a 10-foot section, so it's not a super wide. It's taken out the whole 2 sections of the wall and collapsed them in, but it's not a big wide section that's been filled. So you could do it very quickly with what you just described. You could create a tunnel.
Right, yeah, should we do that?
Let's do that.
Sure.
I use 1 charge of my wand of polymorph and turn into a badger, a giant badger.
Is it one charge just to turn you in? Or is it also turn you? Is it only for a period of time, or is it another charge to turn you back? Did I miss that already?
It's concentration up to an hour.
Right. So okay, good.
So
right. Good.
I can say like this.
Temporary change. Temporary
miss
change.
it. Right.
Not stuck there forever.
Yeah, he's still aware of who he is, even though if something was to happen that we had to do rolls on, he would have the badger's stats, but he doesn't turn into a badger without his memories.
Investigation has gone to shit.
Imagine your intelligence isn't great as a giant badger. So, Jake, on one side of the wall, without you knowing, there's been quite a quick discussion and a crowbar pulled out, and then unknown to you, Zachary is now a giant badger. Having seen your group cut off from you from one side, what would you like to do? You, with your passive strength, you could start moving. It's going to take you quite some time, or we can look at rolls, or you can keep moving, or you can stay still, or what would you like to do? Or you can do something else entirely. Well, you've got dynamite, I guess.
No, we're going to explode the castle. I mean, get into the castle. Jake will kind of do like an exaggerated shrug, a little spin, and sit cross-legged on the floor and start just humming to himself one of his favorite songs, "Burning in the Dark."
I thought it was burning down the house.
Oh, there's quite a few.
I thought you were going to say Burning
Bit of a
Rings of
theme.
Fire, but anyway.
Oh, even
Yeah.
better. That would be perfect. Burning in the fucking hole. Oh, come on.
So Jake's doing the medley of fire themed. Yeah. No, he's already nominated the song that he's humming and singing along to himself. All right. So Jake's chilling, thinking his version of Happy Thoughts.
Mhm.
All right. So Zach, you have what did you say the burrowing speed was of the badger?
Maximum borrowing speed.
10 feet as a move action. You can move 10 feet through dirt, I guess.
Yeah. So I'll give you with this rubble that you basically like almost instantaneously within seconds, badger explosion of just rubble and dirt and chip behind Zach as he kind of digs down into the floor a bit and then tunnels through and under that rubble and disappears from sight, bursting out, almost colliding with a meditating Jake who's only just gotten there and started to sing his happy little fire starter songs. And so, Jake, your reverie is broken by a giant badger exploding the rubble right beside you.
Squeak, squeak. Whatever sound badgers make.
Oh my god, it's a badger. Badger, 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 badger. And Jake will try and scoop the badger up and kind of wave its hands around in the same similar thing as that amazing video.
Oh my
Yes,
god, it is a giant badger. So
is.
you try to wrap your arms maybe around its neck, and the badger moving its head is basically swinging you around in your excitement.
I'd also like to whisper in the
Oh.
badger's ear real quick. Have you ever exploded something?
God, just the badger just gets a
Can
little bit
badger
scared.
talk while badgering badger, or
I wonder what badger tastes like.
And
gamey?
with that, the
Just
Phocyonis and
jamming.
Alia and the Drake and Brutus are all able to basically crawl through or hunch over or walk through, in Alia's case, the tunnel that Zachary the Badger has exploded through. So you're back together and you see that Jake is hanging off the neck of Zachary the Badger, whispering in his ear as you guys get through the tunnel.
Guys, look at the badger.
Jake, what you doing with the badgie?
Badger, 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 badger. Isn't it adorable? Where did you guys find a badger?
That's Zach.
Zach, 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 Zach.
He did the wand of polywaffle or whatever and turned himself.
You had waffles without me?
No, not that. You know the one. Oh, anyway.
Jake
Holy
is on
crap.
such a high right now for having dynamite.
It's going to turn back into the Zach later, soon, maybe now. I don't know.
He hasn't yet. Badger, 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 badger.
God,
What would you guys can see the tunnel
happens
stretching
if you
straight
badger
ahead
the
from you.
badger?
Carry on. Around another 30 feet to where you can see that there is another X marked on the map, and that you can definitely see that there's a side tunnel coming off the main shaft. Actually, be less than that because of the exploding through. So we're about 25 feet from where you guys are, clearly visible. And it's underneath where you know on the map is the smithy. So the Dragonfire smithy. What do you guys want to do here?
I guess we're persisting with investigating side tunnels just to make sure there's no sneaky gnolls down the holes. We send the badger in.
So you're heading down towards that side tunnel. Are you all going in? Is anyone trying to be stealthy?
Oh, we could. Yeah, no. I'm not. Because, no.
All right, so you're just being
Would be the
cautious.
point.
All right, so is that everybody? That general agreement? Everyone's heading in again. You're doing your normal pattern.
Yep.
Yep. So heading in, you can hear very loudly the sounds of the forge overhead, and different to the floorboards that you'd seen in some of the other places, including it having some gaps in the manuscripts. This is a very reinforced flooring that is above you. And at the end of this tunnel, there is actually a couple of makeshift beams that have been put there to support the flooring as the tunnel has been dug up. Excuse me, dug up underneath the smithy. And you can hear it sounds like the work is being undertaken, at least some of it, almost directly above you guys. But there is no gaps in that floor. It is a much stronger construction, and it's got some reinforcing beams. But you don't pick up on anyone having noticed your presence over the sounds of, metal on metal being smashed and forged above you, and all the other sounds, the bellows and the flames and the quenching of the steel in the water. There's a lot of noises coming from the smithy.
Right, nothing here. Let's move on.
All right, we're back out again. We're in the main tunnel now. Zach, this time around, you're almost ready to point out at like one of those pressure pads, but there's not one there. You're not picking up passively on
You said Zach.
anything.
Are we talking to Zach or are you talking to Badger?
Oh, well, I was going to be talking to Zachary, but he's currently a giant badger, so
He's currently
no one
a
in
giant dancing badger.
no one in your group scratch that, but including Zachary if he wasn't a badger. Actually, Zach, can you just have a look and see if the giant badger has a higher passive perception than you, or passive intelligence? No, it doesn't have passive intelligence.
His
But it doesn't.
intelligence is -4. His wisdom
God.
is +1, so his passive perception would be 11.
Okay,
And he has dark vision as well.
thank you. None of you notice those pressure pads that Zach's been pointing out, or anything else ahead of you from the smithy down the continuation of the shaft.
No more dynamite, I guess.
I mean, if we don't notice them, doesn't that mean we trigger them? Surely Jake's looking for these things.
Would like to do a check for anything not. I mean, seeing that Zachary is currently a giant badger and he's been the one who's been pointing these things out, let me know. But that's what you currently. None of you are noticing passively anything amiss ahead of you.
I am gonna say that Jake is very focused on the badger.
Okay, so what?
Zachary as a badger would like to try and roll perception.
Oh, please do.
Good
The
work.
badger is sniffing the air, trying to see if there's something ahead with the dim light of Zachary in his eyes.
If it's to do with smell, I get advantage apparently, but I don't
You
think
can tell
this
me
is
what you're looking to do. So if you're going to be doing it with smell, seeing if you can
I
smell
don't
something,
think-
do it with advantage.
So I got 12.
12. Doing your best with all of your badger senses, nothing seems to be awry. Seems fine. Maybe you could dig a hole.
Yeah. Take a burrow. Good
Do a little dance.
Fight a snake.
Get down tonight.
All right.
Right.
What are we doing? Is anyone else doing anything? The badger seems to be indicating that it's okay. However, he's doing that.
Yeah. Just walk forward a bit.
All right. Is anybody walking forward with Zachary the Badger as he heads down?
Hell no.
Yes, Jake will be behind the badger, attempting to
Okay.
continuously lift it up onto 2 feet to wave its arms around.
All right. And Okionis and Alia, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna hang back.
Are you not moving?
We're good with the caution.
Okay. So Zachary and Jake, as you guys Badger and Jake head down, and Jake, you said you're behind the badger. So Zach, as you're heading through, those giant badger paws, distracted by the thing that is trying to get your attention desperately and currently almost hanging off your tail, you
Would you say that they're
feel something
badgering?
snap, just barely, because you're a big unit, snap underneath your feet, and behind you on either side of Jake, the walls just erupt into that now familiar explosion and rock flying across in front. So Jake, you are caught up, but can you do a dexterity saving throw for me to see how much damage
Guess
you do
who
or don't
gets
take?
a nat 1?
Oh dear. Yeah, that's definitely a
it's a
fail.
7, though, if that helps.
So yeah, that does. But that's what I just rolled. I literally just picked the dice up. It's 3 ones on the first roll.
The fire
terms
doesn't
of
want to
damage.
hurt me.
Oh, that's a bit more. All right,
So
Jake, you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from the rocks as they come pummeling in towards you as you're still trying to hold on to the badger's tail. And how much? And only with you taking the brunt of one side, especially, there is still room for like the single file to walk through. It hasn't quite blocked off the entire tunnel, but you copped a bit of a pummeling from the explosion, and actually with being hit with all that bludgeoning damage,
that's the badger.
can you? The badger's fine. The badger was ahead of it, and it exploded behind him. Can I get you? And this is where we'll finish off with seeing how this lands. Can you give me? This will be. I'm going to get you to do a sleight of hand check again for me. I know this plays in your wheelhouse, unfortunately, or fortunately. But can
I am
you
a
give
rogue.
me a check on that? Yeah, because I want to see if you manage to stop anything untoward happening from that dynamite that's in your pocket that's tied up with rope.
Sleight of hand 27.
Yeah, so as you're getting pummeled, you let go with one hand and just instinctively, like, you want to keep that special
No, it's
dynamite
my
that you
dynamite.
kept it. You want to keep it safe, and you manage to do so. Nothing untoward happens to it. It's fine. You're a bit bloody and bruised, but you've still got a hold of that badger tail with one hand as it drags you out from under the rubble. And I will get us as you're now just past so you're between the smithy and the Griffin's Rest as you're navigating this long and winding tunnel system that is underneath the world between, and have seemingly found another way that things have been done without the pressure pads. There's now been a tripwire collapsed underneath Zachary and smashing Jake, but the rear guard didn't cop any damage at all. That's where we're going to leave it for tonight, and we will pick up with that next week. And I'm going to contemplate my life decisions with how much dynamite is being collected currently.
You have to just go like, we'll just throw it.
I think you should give me more.
Oh god.
Hey, you have had the opportunity to have a lot more. I can't believe how well, when you started rolling initially, I'm like 27, 28. Holy shit, how much dynamite is going to get collected here? shit.
Lots.
And we are going to raid out to Lily as soon as you're live, Lily. We'll actually
I already am.
come over. Oh, good. We will come over and join you. If anyone can hang for just a minute or two, Dante's got what might be a solution to keep our links in OBS. I'm going to just stay and be one of the test dummies, but just see if they'll stay there like his does. If
Yeah,
not, we'll just do it with me. That's fine. But if one other person can hang around for an extra couple of minutes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But as for you streaming people, peace out. Love you all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. The VOD will be up on YouTube in the next 48 hours. And
Looks forward to coming
check it
and
out.
just
Like,
having you
follow,
watch it.
subscribe, etc. And we'll catch you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.